Today you see Tom and me riding out to Hennef along the river Sieg to meet with 3 other riders to go on a loop that has been designed for fast riding. We will be going up and down the valleys of the rivers Bröl and Agger, just north of the river Sieg where we're riding just now. Starting from our meeting point just outside Bonn, we will do a 136-kilometer loop. As you can see here, the 2 blue dots on the right side, they indicate the one area that we will have to climb more than the usual 1 to 3% of the river valleys. That's why this is called valley hopping, because we will actually be changing from one valley into the next to ride as much as possible in those river valleys. Towards the end, I have suggested to put in another climb so that we can take a tour around the Cologne Bonn airport. So here we are riding the Bröl River Valley, which is a continuous uphill. The Garmin elevation marks, the percentage marks, are not very accurate, I believe. When it is just, around 0%, they tend to be off and on. The general trend of this section is a slight uphill, but as you can see, one that you can ride rather well. Unfortunately, this is also a fairly busy road, so that at any time while we were on that road, we had a line of cars behind us. On the upside, these busy roads tend to be better maintained, so you see that the pavement is actually rather well and rides pretty well. You see me coming out from the right side here because I'm passing another rider. This is an Alpha 7, beautiful Velomobile. There are 2 riders ahead of me here. We never ride all in one group because that creates a too long line of Velomobiles. It's much more difficult for cars to pass. Here we have changed to one of the smaller rivers, the Bröl-Bach. It's the Bröl Creek. It's a side river of the Bröl River. This road is as nice as the other one, but it is more quiet. There's much less traffic here compared to the other one, and riding is just as easy as it was before. Altogether, we will follow the Bröl River and Bröl-Bach for about 28 kilometers, rising from about 75 meters, which was the height in Hennef, to about 207 meters. So you see, over 28 kilometers, 150-meter climb. That is a very, very gentle incline. And even though you have minor ups and downs in between, it is nothing serious at all. Here you see us all together for a change. All 5 of us, 2 DF, 1 DF Special, 1 After 7, and 1 Alpha 7. Unlike many of the other loops we do, this has no big climb. This route has been designed by Alex to allow as much as possible for fast riding. There are a couple of villages along that route, but generally, once off the Bröl River part of it, it is pretty quiet. a small settlement coming up bears the name Grüntal, which means green valley, and actually that's what it is. It's a very green valley that we're riding through at this point. And we're almost at the 210 meter mark. That's where the more serious climb will begin. It is only about 4 kilometers long, and it's a climb of altogether 80 meters. So again, you know, it is rather moderate. It is only steeper in comparative terms. And this is already the end, is on the downhill, a 4 kilometer downhill to a small river, the Wiel River. We will only be following for 5 kilometers before reaching the Ugger River, which then is going to be the route back, the very gentle downhill road of this section. This is very different. This is a downhill ride. Here you don't pedal much at all. You just use the momentum and the superior aerodynamics of the Velomobile to fly down. You see that I'm flowing with a little traffic that there is on this particular road. I'm enjoying the downhill, and I give you a good part of it just so that you can see that we're in the balance. You know, a bit of 4 kilometers of more noticeable climbing, followed by 4 kilometers of more noticeable downhill. Isn't it nice to be riding down without having to do anything really? This is already by the Wiel River, leaving the town of Bielstein, I believe, and we're now riding about 5 kilometers down to the merger of the Wiel and the Ugger River. So we've been successfully hopping into the next valley. a valley that will be busier than the one that we've been in before, because there are larger towns along the route. There's more traffic. There's also wider roads. Very easy to regroup at those intersections because we're never that far apart from each other. Now these are the final kilometers on the road towards the Agger River, and I give you a good section of that to also show you another one of those motorway bridges. In the video I did about the Pfingst Creek Valley ride, I passed one of those high bridges of the A61 in this case. Now, today, we will be passing the A4 on a bridge that is also spanning high across the valley. But the construction is almost unreal because the pillars are so thin, given the height, that you wonder how this entire construction can be so stable. There you see the bridge in the distance. I will give you a better view when we pass under it. It is around the next corner. There it comes. You see what I mean? Now let's head for the Agger Valley. Here we are entering the town of Runderode. At the entry into town it says Runderode, the pearl of the Agger Valley. Now you may judge for yourself whether that is a superstition or not. The towns better known to me along these routes actually are Engelskirchen and Overath. And I believe that this road is more busy, there's more traffic, there's more people driving out here because there is a more direct connection to the city of Cologne, which is one of, I think, the top 5 or 6 of Germany's largest cities. So actually there is more people, more city people taking a route out into the country, and this is one of the standard routes into the mountains towards the east. You see, this is the Agger Valley. Plenty of traffic, but since we're going down, we are quite fast, and so traffic is much easier to bear when you're going fast compared to you going slow and up a climb. Beyond Engelskirchen, we begin to feel a longing for some ice cream. So the idea was to stop for ice cream in the next town, which will be Overath. Quite evident it is another beautiful day, gorgeous weather, sunny, fresh air, and dry, which is not very common in spring and summer in this part of the world. Our summers used to be very humid, which makes them much less likable, but now the past 7 summers, or 7 springs actually, have been unusually dry, creating massive problems, by the way, in the forests. There is a lot of damage because trees are dying for lack of water, as I experience all the time when I go hiking or cycling in the mountains. This now is Overath, and we are in search of ice cream and learning the lesson that you never should follow the first signs of Italian cuisine, but take a closer look. That could have been an Italian ice cream bar, but it isn't.
Ist das für Pizza, ehrlich? Keine Ahnung, ich habe nur gestudiert, aus mich unterhalten, weil hier war das Ding. Was? Ja, eben, das ist eher Pizza als Eis. Müssen wir mal fragen, was es eins gibt. Ja, Eis ist da vorne irgendwo. Das ist da so das beste Eis von Overath? Keine Ahnung, ich bin doch nicht. Also. Das erste Mal hier. Ja.
When we're new to some place and talk with people, I always ask them whether it's actually the best ice cream of that town, because I don't want to go to the second best if I'm only going once.
Das ist das beste Eis von Overath. Hier vorne. Hier da.
Okay, yeah, over there on the other side of the road it is called Cortina, like so many ice creams. So these people come from northern Italy and name their ice cream parlors after their home cities or cities that people here in Germany will know in northern Italy.
Du willst im Handyshop. Ja, Eisquartier. Das beste Eis von Overath. Aber nur zum Mitnehmen. So, bitte einzeln eintreten. Ja. Das Licht ist voll elektrisch. Der Rest ist hier. Alles klar, danke. Ja.
Fläte einschmieren.
Refreshed, we continue our ride along the Agger Valley, all the way down to the village of Walscheid, where two of us will continue on because they're heading into a different direction. They want to go back to Hennef, and three of us, we will take a loop into the mountains and ride up to a town called, or village, actually, it is a village, Altenrad, because that's where we meet the airport road, which is a famous time trial training track of many of the serious Cologne road bikers. Until then, it's the same procedure. We will be usually going around 50 to 55, sometimes up to 60 kilometers an hour on this very gentle downhill. For the three of us turning off to the side, it's going to be a climb of about 80 meters. It's a double dip. We will have to go up and down into the next river valley, which is the Sulz River Valley, and then up again to get to Altenrad and the airport road. Look at the elevation profile at the bottom. There you have these two little bumps that are ahead of us. Here you see me working hard for a change. We had planned to turn left at that traffic light, but then it turned green, so we went straight ahead. Now I have to pick up speed again. And you can see my head is going to left and right in the acceleration phase. Off we go and into the climb. I have to say I like these climbs. I like this change between fast pace and very slow going.
Das sind Straßen nach meinem Geschmack hier. Das ist nichts für Alex. Das mag er nicht. Er sagt, er will nie Höhenmeter verlieren. Nein. Ah, guck dir diesen Blick an hier. Weißt du, du kannst bis in die Eifel gucken. Im Agger Tal siehst du die nächste Kurve und das ist alles. Mehr viel.
Here we have an unexpected, rather steep downhill ahead of us without even knowing it, because it looks like, as you will see in a second, it looks like the road is continuing, but we have to turn to the left and into a sharp downhill. It's a beautiful little road, actually. I really was positively surprised to find a road like this. Haven't designed that detour on the computer only. Once we're fully down in the Sülz River Valley, we will have to go up again on a similarly small road until we reach the village of Altenrath. Here's my buddy Tom, and in the back there, the yellow dot, that is my riding buddy Hayo. So we've killed the 80 meters of elevation that we've gained before, and now we're going back up. This is on the famous airport road called Flughafenstraße, and it is usually full of roadies, and they are all more or less ambitious, either trying to set the fastest time going up or the fastest time going down. I'm a rather slow climber, so I much prefer going into this direction, the downhill direction. To the left now is the end of the runway, or the runways of Cologne Bonn Airport. So actually this loop takes us, I think, 3/4 around the runway area. And the descent is so minimal that I am actually pedaling all the time. as you can see, it is a blast to ride, and we usually enjoy that a lot, to let it all out for a few minutes at the end of a ride. At the end of this road, Halle will turn into another direction, and Tom and I will be heading through a bit of urban Cologne traffic, urban suburban Cologne traffic, and hitting the farm roads outside of Cologne, where the vegetable farmers are, towards our home. He lives close to Bonn, and I live in Bonn. Another 2 roadies to pass. I will spare you the city traffic and give you a little bit of country riding before finishing with this video. All right, thanks for watching, and I hope to be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.